One of the coolest innovations that we've had over the past couple of years is our signature stainless steel tactical tail switch. And that allows the switch itself to be more precise with its movement, allow you to charge magnetically through the tail cap itself, and because of the fact that it's stainless steel, it will not wear out over time. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about two of our most popular stainless steel tail switch lights, which is the Warrior X Pro and the M2R Pro. And we're going to talk about the similarities and the differences between the two and help you make a decision on which ones you want to get.
But before we get into all of the details, we're going to give away an M2R Pro in this video. So all you guys need to do to enter is subscribe to this channel, like this video, and in the comments below, let us know whether you prefer the M2R Pro or the Warrior X Pro.
Now these are some of the most feature-packed tactical lights on the market, so let's get into it. Now to kick this off, let's start with a size comparison, because honestly the best flashlight is the one that you have with you. So obviously form factor is a really big deal when you have a light either in your pocket, in your bag, something like that. Now let's go ahead and start with the weight of these two lights. The weight of the M2R Pro is 6.31 ounces, and that is including the 5000 milliamp 21700 battery, so that is an all-in weight when you are using this light. For the Warrior X Pro, it also has that same 21700 battery, but since it is a heftier, more overbuilt style light, it's going to be a hair over 2 ounces heavier at 8.43 ounces. So this is somewhat of a big boy compared to the M2R Pro. Now let's talk about the length of these two lights. Now the length of the M2R Pro is 5.37 inches. The length of the Warrior X Pro is 5.87 inches. That's a really small difference. I think that's negligible, so when you're carrying this in your pocket, as long as your pockets are somewhat deep, it's not going to be a big deal in terms of the length of these two lights.
Now because they both take the same battery, which is that 21700, the body diameter is actually the same. So both of these lights are going to come in at 1.03 inches for that body diameter. But the real difference comes in with the head diameter. Now your M2R Pro is 1.16 inches across here, and the Warrior X Pro, because it's giving you that wider head for a better throw, it comes in at 1.54 inches.
So that's a big thing to keep in mind when you're carrying this in your pocket. Obviously that larger diameter is going to have a much larger footprint inside of your pocket, so just keep in mind the Warrior X Pro is a little bit harder to pocket carry than the M2R Pro. Now I've got just some regular Levi's blue jeans right here. M2R Pro, I'm going to just slip it in the pocket and check that out. It's really not a big deal to carry the M2R Pro. I can easily move my leg up and down. I can squat down, and carrying this is super easy. Putting it in the pocket is easy, pulling it out. So like I said, the M2R Pro is a great EDC light and really just not a big deal to carry. Now in contrast, if you want to put the Warrior X Pro in your pocket, it still fits. I can still do it, but obviously you're going to have, the entire tail cap of the light hanging out. But if you don't care about people actually seeing the flashlight, maybe you're using it for work or something like that, and you want to have easier access to the light, well, you can still easily pull it out of your pocket. Again, it really is not a big deal as long as you're okay with carrying it. I can still lift my leg, drop down. It's not a big deal, but again, I would prefer to just have that tactical grip ring on it and then just use the holster on a belt like this. Now, while we're on the subject of carrying these two lights, I want to show you the various ways that you can actually do that. Now, the cool thing about the M2R Pro, which we'll talk about here first, is that not only does it have a dual direction clip, so you could put it in your pocket this way or this way, but it actually has two different positions on the light itself where you can put that clip. So there's 4 positions where you can actually carry this light. Now, if you want to, you can just pull the clip off like that, and then you can place it on the other side of the light, and you can carry it this way as well. So in terms of everyday carry, just having a pocket light, this is really versatile. And again, I love that concealed, just super deep carry. I mean, look at that. You're barely going to see the top of the light coming out of your pocket. Now, in contrast, the Warrior X Pro does not have a deep carry clip, so you could just carry it like this. Obviously, something this large, you're not going to be able to conceal it in your pocket anyways, so I don't think that's a big deal. But my favorite way to carry it is in the holster, but with the actual included tactical grip ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this off real quick, and then I'm going to pull this clip off real quick. And then I'm going to put this grip ring on here, and then I'm just going to push this down like that, and you can see that everything is very tight and solid. And then I'm going to screw this back down, and now I have this tactical grip ring, which when I carry it like this is super comfortable. You see that? It's right there in between these 2 fingers right there, and I'm able to just have it in a nice fist grip and use it just like that. Also, you could carry it like this. I know some people like to use the light like this if they're looking for something. So I really would prefer to just use it with this grip ring and then just have it in the holster on my belt and just not even worry about the clip. With that said, both of these lights do come with a holster. The holster for the M2R Pro obviously is going to be smaller, and it's going to have this buckle type closure right there, but they're both going to have a strap for a belt. And then of course for the Warrior X Pro, it's going to have a really nice holster here as well, which, considering the diameter and the weight of this light, I would prefer to carry it on a belt instead of inside the pocket.
Now, the M2R Pro has 1800 lumens with a 300 meter beam distance and a 22,400 rating for its Candela.
A lot of people use the M2R Pro as an EDC light because with that 1800 lumens, it is super bright, but with the 300 meter beam distance, that's no joke, guys. 300 meters is very long, especially for a light that you can easily carry in your pocket. So it's going to have a nice hot spot, but also a very wide spill. So you will be able to use it for up close tasks, especially on the lower settings, but you're still going to get that 300 meter beam distance on turbo. So really, in terms of just doing things on a daily basis or encountering different situations, it's a fantastic, well-rounded beam.
Now, in contrast, the Warrior X Pro has 2100 lumens, a 500 meter beam distance, and a rating for its Candela of 62,500.
Now, the fact that the Candela is actually triple of the M2R Pro, Candela equates to throw. It's the intensity of the center hotspot on a given subject at long range. So, say that you're shining this Warrior X Pro on a tree that's 100 yards away. Well, the intensity on that tree is going to be much more than the M2R Pro. So that's something to keep in mind. If you are looking for things that are far away, you want to go with the Warrior X Pro, you want a high Candela light. But just keep in mind, the Warrior X Pro is heavier, larger, harder to carry, but you're getting an amazing throw out of this light. And the reason why that's possible is because of the actual design of the light. Now, as we mentioned before, this larger head makes it harder to carry, but this larger head is the reason why you're getting all of that throw. It's got a larger diameter, much longer, deeper, and smooth reflector. So that's able to bounce the light off of that reflector better than that one, and that gives you that beam intensity at long range. So again, it's a pro and a con. Harder to carry, but since it is harder to carry, you're getting a much better throw. Up next, we're going to talk about the various lumen settings and the run times of those. Now, the M2R Pro actually has 6 different settings, going from a 1 lumen moonlight mode all the way to 1800 lumens, and it also has strobe. And the reason why it's able to do that is because it not only has the stainless steel tail switch, but it also has just a regular usage side switch as well. Now, in contrast, the Warrior X Pro only has 2 settings because this is just a straight up, very, very simple tactical style light. So again, if you're going to be using the light as an EDC, you're going to get all of those modes for any type scenario that you have with this M2R Pro, whereas the Warrior X Pro is a much more focused, more specific usage light.
Now, because the M2R Pro has the side switch, it does have some additional features that the Warrior X Pro does not. For example, there is a 3-stage battery indicator level on the side switch. It's going to be green if your battery is over 75%, it's going to be orange if you're between 30 and 75%, and it's going to be red if you're under 30%. Another great feature with that side switch is lockout. So if you're carrying it in a bag or in a pocket and you don't want it to accidentally turn on, you can hold down that side switch, it'll flash, and then it will disable the side switch and the tail switch so it doesn't accidentally heat anything up next to your clothes, your bag, anything like that.
Now, in contrast, since the Warrior X Pro is more of that traditional, simple, just straight up tactical light, it does not have lockout mode because it needs to be always at the ready. So, like I was saying before, having this in the holster just ready to go is definitely the way that you want to carry this. Now, in contrast, since the Warrior X Pro is just a straight up, super simple tactical light, it does not have lockout mode, so if you're going to put it in a bag or something like that, you're just going to want to unscrew the tail cap a bit to where it stops working. But the point of this being a simple tactical light is for it to always be at the ready. So I suggest just keeping it in that holster like we said before, and then you're ready to go when you need it. But since it does not have that side switch battery level indicator, it will actually vibrate when the battery is low. The good thing about that is you don't have anything lighting up on the light if you're in a very dark situation and you want to stay concealed. But it will do just a very slight silent vibration so you can feel when your battery is getting low. Now, since the M2R Pro has so many settings, we're going to actually show you each mode, and we're going to tell you the run times of each one as well. So Kelly is in front of the camera with the M2R Pro right now at the 1 lumen moonlight mode, which will last for 50 days straight. So we're talking almost 2 months without ever turning off on a single charge at 1 lumen. Absolutely incredible. Now she's going to ramp up to the low mode, and that mode is going to be 15 lumens, and that will still last for 130 hours. So again, I mean, an extremely long amount of time at 15 lumens, which is a very useful mode. Up next, we have the 60 lumen mode, which is still going to last for 40 hours. So you're looking at still almost 2 days at 60 lumens. Again, really, really great run times at a very valuable mode. Up next, we have 250 lumens, and that will last for 10 hours, so you're still getting pretty much an entire night at 250 lumens. Up next, we've got 750 lumens, and that will last for 160 minutes, and then it will slowly drop down to 250 lumens, and that will last for 40 minutes. So we're getting pretty bright here, and that still is a very impressive runtime. Up next, which is something very impressive, is the 1800 lumen turbo mode. The amazing part about this is the runtime of this turbo mode is actually a lot better than most lights on the market. It lasts for 4.5 minutes. Now that might not seem very long, but actually most turbo modes only last for 1 to 2 minutes tops. So 4.5 minutes at turbo is very impressive out of a light this size. Now it's going to slowly drop down to 750 lumens after that 4.5 minutes, and that will last for 145 minutes, and then it will drop down to 250 lumens at 45 minutes. So we're getting as much as we can out of this battery at that turbo mode as it drops down to 2 different lumen levels. And then if you do a quick triple tap with that side switch, you're going to get to a super high frequency strobe mode, as you can see right there. So the modes on this thing are absolutely awesome. I love the fact that it is a tactical light with that tail switch, but you have literally 6 different modes plus strobe. Now in contrast, the Warrior X Pro is just basically a straight up tactical light. So you want to keep it as simple as possible without a ton of different settings, because you really just want to pull it out of the holster and use it and not have to worry about going through some type of UI. So it has 2 settings. There is a 300 lumen setting, which is what she's on right now, which will last for 8 hours straight. That's solid, guys. 300 lumens for 8 hours, you can't beat that. Now, for the turbo mode, it's going to be at that incredible 2100 lumens, and that will last for 2 minutes, and then that will drop down to 1000 lumens, and that will last for 100 minutes, and then that will drop down to 300 lumens, which will last for 23 minutes. So basically, you've got that incredible runtime at the 300 lumens, and then you have nice short bursts of that 2100 lumens if you see a predator or something like that that you have to deal with. But it's a great little UI, super simple for, again, just a straight up tactical tail switch light. I can tell you right now that both of these lights are super strong. We've performed extensive torture tests on both of them. So let's check out the M2R Pro one here real quick.
And it still turns on, guys. Look at that.
Now the Warrior X Pro is super overbuilt and took this torture test like a champ.
Guys, look at that tail cap. That is amazing. Look at the front bezel. Ooh boy. This thing took a beating. Still turning on.
Thank you so much for checking out this feature roundup of the M2R Pro and the Warrior X Pro.
The biggest thing to consider is how you want to carry it. Because no matter how good the performance is, if you're not actually going to take it with you, then what's the point? So if you want to carry it in your pocket, obviously the M2R Pro is going to be easier. But if you don't care about the size and you just want the most overbuilt flashlight that you can get, maybe the Warrior X Pro is going to be the one. Also, the Warrior X Pro does have a tighter beam. It has a longer throw. So if you prefer that type of profile, then this is the one you want to go with. But if you want a more overall, more of an EDC type beam, then go with the M2R Pro. Really, the choice is yours. Obviously, I would suggest to go with both because they both have their different reasons and why you should carry them.
Now, we did previously make videos on each of these lights, including torture tests and unboxings, which we'll link in the description below. But before you guys go check those out, don't forget to enter the giveaway in this video for the M2R Pro. All you need to do is subscribe to this channel, like this video, and in the comments below, let us know which one you prefer, whether it's the M2R Pro or the Warrior X Pro.
We get questions about these two lights on a daily basis. So I hope that this video helped clarify some things on the differences between these two to help you make your decision. We have a link for the website down below so you can see all of the information and purchase yours today. And make sure to use the discount code Olight10 at checkout so you can have an additional savings. Thanks so much for watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.
Ugh.